This is how the entire first round of the 2024 NFL Draft should go. Pick number 1, the Chicago Bears. In the words of the great Thanos, he is inevitability. Caleb Williams will go number 1 overall. Pick number 2, Jaden Daniels is the quarterback. When you look at offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, this makes too much sense. Pick number 3, we have a trade. The Minnesota Vikings are moving up to the number 3 pick to select their quarterback of the future in Drake May. The quarterback coach, Josh McCown, was his coach in high school. He's now the quarterback coach for the Minnesota Vikings. So a lot of familiarity, makes a lot of sense for the Vikings to move up, get their quarterback of the future. Pick number 4, probably the number 1 prospect in this draft. Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyler Murray finally gets a true X receiver outside to be dominant, to go up and get those 50-50 jump balls, great ball control, and he gets a playmaker at receiver. Could Jim Harbaugh go offensive line? Could he go playmaker on the outside? To me, it makes more sense for him to get a playmaker, and probably the best playmaker in this draft, in Malik Neighbors. You have Justin Herbert, a quarterback whose arm has been blessed by the gods. Get him a playmaker on the outside in Malik Neighbors. Pick number 6. The Giants are salivating right now because they don't even have to trade up. They get their quarterback of the future in J.J. McCarthy. The Tennessee Titans spent a lot this offseason getting playmakers on the offense and defensive side. Now you need protection for your young quarterback, Will Levis, and that's exactly what they do by getting the best offensive tackle in Joe Alt to protect his blind side for the next 10 to 15 years. Pick number 8, we have another trade. The New York Jets move up from 10 to 8 to take who I believe will be the best receiver when it's said and done from this class, Rome Odunze. The Chicago Bears are back on the clock, and this time they get protection for Caleb Williams, and they get Olu Fashanu. Pick number 10, which now belongs to the Falcons. The first defensive player comes off the board, fits perfectly in that Raheem Morris defense. The Atlanta Falcons get their bookend in Dallas Turner. Pick number 11. This belongs to the Patriots after they traded back from the Minnesota Vikings. And the Pats get better and nastier on the offensive line with offensive tackle Talise Fuaga. He can play at guard, he can play at tackle, but I think he'll start off playing tackle. The Denver Broncos get an edge rusher in Jared Verse, who plays with straight power, literally runs through offensive tackles. They need an edge guy to come off that edge and get after quarterbacks. Jared Verse is their guy. Pick number 13, the Las Vegas Raiders. To me, the number 3 quarterback in this draft, and it falls right into their lap. The best deep ball thrower in college football last year, and that's Michael Penix Jr. Pick number 14, the New Orleans Saints are in desperate need of offensive tackle help, and they probably get the best run blocking tackle in J.C. Latham. Pick number 15, one of the best playmakers, and he plays the tight end position. Brock Bowers, just imagine him and Shane Steichen's offense with that RPO and Anthony Richardson. He is going to kill teams in the middle of the field. Pick 16, the Seattle Seahawks select offensive tackle Troy Fontenot, who won't have to go very far because he went to the University of Washington. They have a void at left guard, and Fontenot can slide in there. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Quinn Mitchell, who will fit in nicely in defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen's defense. Pick 18, the Cincinnati Bengals take my number 2 corner on the board, Terrion Arnold. Flexibility to play outside and in the slot. It's a major void on this team, and Terrion Arnold fits it. The LA Rams, and you talking about a team that is rubbing their hands together. They just lost one of the greatest defensive players in history in Aaron Donald when he retired. Now, I'm not calling Byron Murphy Aaron Donald, but there's a lot of similarities when you look at him. A guy with a strong lower half, right? Plays with great leverage and creates havoc in the backfield. Byron Murphy is my top defensive player in this draft. Pick number 20. The Steelers get better at wideout. Brian Thomas, who is just coming into his own. Yes, we know he can get down the field and blow the top off the defense. Led college football with 17 touchdowns last year. They didn't ask him to do a lot at LSU, so I think he's just starting to scratch the surface of his skill set. Pick 21. The Miami Dolphins take Johnny Newton. Nobody rushes with a better rush plan. They just lost Christian Wilkins. Hopefully Johnny Newton will fill that void. The Philadelphia Eagles take Cooper DeJean, a guy that has position flexibility and versatility to play in the slot or at safety. Pick 23, which also belongs to the New England Patriots after they traded with the Minnesota Vikings, A.D. Mitchell. A guy that has so much upside. Big frame, body receiver that has suddenness at the line of scrimmage to get open. They get a playmaker on the outside. Pick number 24, the Dallas Cowboys. Lost a slew of offensive linemen in free agency. Well, they fill one of those voids with the best center in the draft in Jackson Powers Johnson. The Green Bay Packers take my favorite player in the draft, Ennis Rakestraw, a tone-setting corner that has flexibility to play in the slot or on the outside. He's gonna bring an attitude to your defense. Pick 26, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take Latu, who to me would be my number one edge if not for the medical concerns, but he has a veteran-like game to his game already. Pick number 27, the Arizona Cardinals need help in the secondary, and they get help with Kool-Aid McKinstry, a guy that has high football IQ, is really good in man coverage, plus he gives you a really good punt returner. The Buffalo Bills take a guy that may have the highest upside in the draft, but just needs some work on his fundamentals, and that's Chop Robinson from Penn State. Pick number 29, the Detroit Lions take a guy that I really love. Darius Robinson from Mizzou. He has position flexibility to literally play every position on the defensive line and hopefully take some pressure off of Aiden Hutchinson. The Baltimore Ravens take Amarius Mims. He's a guy that coaches say he's the first guy you want to walk off the bus, right? 6'8", 340 pounds, but doesn't look it. So much to like in this game. The only thing is, he needs more experience. Only 8 starts in his collegiate career. Pick number 31, the San Francisco 49ers. They take a guy to me who has the second highest upside at offensive tackle in Tyler Guyton. Pick number 32, the Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Ladd McConkey, to me, one of the most polished receivers in this draft. I mean, he literally leaves DBs in blenders, the way he's able to tempo his routes and get in and out of breaks. You get a big-time playmaker for your quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, at pick 32 with the Kansas City Chiefs.